tonight, reaction with Ukrainian students set to move to international student rates after the next semester. The latest from police on reports of possible tampering with Halloween candy in the city. And a new robotic surgical tool comes online at Regina's Pasqua Hospital.
Live from our studios in Regina, this is CTV News.
Good evening. Ukrainian students attending Saskatchewan universities are facing a massive tuition increase. They had been paying the same tuition as Canadian students, but now they've been informed they'll all be switching to international student rates in the near future. Wayne Mantika has more.
These Ukrainian students were shocked to receive an email from the University of Saskatchewan saying that their break on tuition will end in March.
I was absolutely devastated. I was hoping to build a future in Canada, as I've mentioned earlier, and I was really upset. Me and many other students, my parents are worrying of how I can build my future here in Canada, contribute to this great country.
The provincial government had promised Ukrainian students that they would pay the same tuition as Canadians and refugees. That's about $8,000 per year. The international student rate that they are now facing is 5 times that.
People who flee the war typically don't have just $40,000 lying around. It's just not how it works. We're hoping that this government accepts the idea of continuing this program.
The NDP is asking that Ukrainian students continue to be treated as Saskatchewan residents.
Because Ukrainians are not considered refugees, they're being forced to pay this crazy amount of tuition.
The provincial government says about 26 students from Ukraine are receiving a tuition break at a cost to the province of $300,000 per year.
This program is in place till the end of March, and we're in November right now, so that's where this program is. And in the future there may be an extension or there may be a new program.
The provincial government recognizes that it made a commitment to Ukrainians who fled to Canada. It suggests that student concerns are premature and that discussions will take place with Ottawa, which is cost-sharing the tuition program. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
The provincial government has introduced legislation to enforce child support across jurisdictions. The province says the changes also give separated families an additional tool to help enforce child support orders when one of the parties lives outside Saskatchewan, including in other countries, through an international convention on family law and civil procedures, which includes 56 countries. In Canada, similar moves have already been made in Manitoba, Ontario, and British Columbia. Saskatchewan also updating its defamation laws, replacing a previous law that had been in place since 1909. The Defamation Act replaces the former Libel and Slander Act with simplified and modernized rules to accommodate for new technology and ways of sharing information. Libel and slander are now both considered defamation for any written or spoken statements that cause harm to someone's reputation. The changes include the removal of wording that refers specifically to newspapers and empowering the court to make takedown orders when harmful online content circulates after initial publication. A death investigation opened by police over the weekend has now been deemed a homicide. The investigation began after a 19-year-old man's body was found early Saturday morning at a home on the 1000 block of 12th Avenue. Police say the man was the victim of a shooting. His name will not be made public at the request of the family. The investigation is ongoing. Police are asking the public to check their properties for a possible firearm used in the crime, as investigators believe it may have been disposed of in the area. This marks Regina's 10th homicide of 2025. The man accused of manslaughter in connection with the death of 44-year-old Tanya Myers has made another court appearance. Chris Fallman is charged with 1 count of manslaughter, along with 3 other charges in connection with Myers' death. The incident happened on September 12th, when Myers was in one of 2 vehicles hit by bullets on Highway 39 near Weyburn. Fallman's next provincial court appearance will be a bail hearing that's set for Thursday afternoon. Police have charged a man with impaired driving after a pedestrian was hit by a vehicle last night. It happened at the intersection of Athol Street and 8th Avenue. The victim was taken to hospital with minor injuries. The vehicle left the scene, but about 20 minutes later, it was found near Elphinstone Street and 13th Avenue. Police stopped the driver. He's now been charged with impaired operation and failure to stop after an accident. He'll appear in court later this month. The Crown closed its case today as the month-long trial for a man accused of second-degree murder in connection with Misha Pavlik's death nears its end. 19-year-old Pavlik was fatally stabbed at a high school graduation party on May 21st, 2006 near Last Mountain Lake. After the Crown wrapped its case against the accused, the defense opted not to call any witnesses of its own. Once closing arguments are heard, the jury is expected to be charged later this week to begin deliberating on a verdict. Turning now to an ongoing human trafficking trial in Rosetown, the second of two men accused in the case took the stand today, denying allegations that he exploited a woman from Bangladesh. CTV's Stacey Hine has the latest.
43-year-old Mohammed Masoom is on trial alongside co-accused Sohail Haider. In 2023, RCMP charged the men with human trafficking a Bangladeshi woman to work at restaurants in Gull Lake, Tisdale, and Elrose. Masoom also faces sexual assault charges. Earlier in the trial, the woman, who cannot be named because of a publication ban, testified she agreed to work at Masoom's restaurant for $1,000 a month. She said she was scheduled for 10-hour shifts 5 days a week, but often worked longer hours. The woman testified that one day, while they were alone in the restaurant, Masoom followed her into the cooler, hugged her from behind, and kissed her neck and shoulders. She said the next day, he took her for a drive, and then she said he sexually assaulted her. On the stand, Masoom testified he did not touch her and disputed the woman's account of the cooler incident, saying it was too small for two people to fit inside. He testified he never paid the woman because he said she was not employed at the restaurant. Masoom said Haider asked him to let the woman stay with his family for a few months. He told court she initially lived in his Tisdale apartment before moving into another unit he rented across the hall. He said he gave her $1,000 at Haider's request and said he later learned it was meant to help with immigration fees. Masoom has yet to be cross-examined. The trial continues Thursday. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Rosetown.
A Saskatoon murder trial is entering its third week. Court hearing from a woman who was in the home at the time of the fatal shooting. Rosenfeld is on trial for second-degree murder in the death of his 20-year-old girlfriend, Nikira Brown. Brown was shot inside the apartment she shared with Rosenfeld on November 15th, 2022. Rosenfeld's aunt also lived in the home. Earlier that evening, the aunt testified she could hear the couple yelling at each other and swearing. She said she was in her bedroom with her cats when she heard a loud gunshot, followed by her nephew screaming. The Regina Police Service is reminding those in the city to pay close attention to Halloween candy, as they've now had 3 reports of candy potentially being tampered with. In a media event on Tuesday, police said the 3 incidents were reported in different parts of the city, which leads them to believe that it could be a manufacturing issue rather than a targeted incident. Police say no one was injured in any of the incidents in any case, and the investigation is ongoing.
I don't want people to panic. I just want parents to be diligent in checking the candy, letting their kids know, hey, make sure you're, taking a look at your candy before you're opening these chocolate bars. In these instances, it's been just chocolate bars, and so just being sure that we're taking a look at those, inspecting the wrappers. In a couple of the instances, there was like a hole in the wrapper that indicated that something was awry.
Davies said 2 instances occurred in a coffee crisp bar, the other in an Aero bar. Sabine Ahmed joins us now for our first look at weather. Sabine, I hear there's a supermoon expected tonight, which, as is almost always the case in Saskatchewan, means it's going to be cloudy and you're probably not going to be able to see it.
Well, actually, yeah, you're right. There's a bit of cloud cover, actually, now that I
Don't get my hopes up.
I mean, there's a slight chance there could be a little window, but heading into tomorrow, we'll see much more clear conditions, but that doesn't help us if there's a supermoon we want to see tonight. There is a slight chance we could see a little bit more of that cloud cover. Now, Now, today we had mostly sunny conditions. Did see a little bit of precipitation first thing this morning in parts of southern Saskatchewan. And heading into tomorrow, like I said, for most of the day, we will see clear conditions. And then the precipitation arrives. And that precipitation is in the form of rain and snow. It was bound to arrive. So Thursday, Friday are looking like the days we could see a little bit of that light snow arriving and sticking around for a day or two. Temperatures tonight are actually currently some areas warmer, other areas cooler, like Regina, East and Cypress at 1 degree. The average is normally about 4 degrees. We warmed up to 9, but I'll have all the details in your forecast. Cole?
All right, thanks, Sabine. Well, a new piece of technology is now in use at Regina's Pasqua Hospital. Damien Smith has the details on a robot that's already stepping in to help with surgeries.
A new device is in use at the Pasqua Hospital. The Da Vinci surgical system has conducted almost 20 surgeries since September.
If you're a young surgeon, this is another way, another tool in your toolbox.
The robot-assisted system has a surgeon situated at the control panel, guiding the robot's arms that hold tiny surgical tools, as well as a 3D camera, which creates a detailed outline for the surgeon. The system is said to filter out hand tremors, sometimes induced by stress or fatigue. The key is efficiency.
All of these things kind of combine to lead to kind of these better patient outcomes that it's been discussed over and over, decreased post-op complications, decreased pain, shorter hospital stays.
This is the third Da Vinci surgical system that has landed in Saskatchewan. St. Paul's Hospital in Saskatoon has 2, the first arriving back in 2022. The health minister noting that the new system in Regina can be more geographically accommodating for those in southern Saskatchewan.
If you live in a place like Assiniboia, if you live in a place like Yorkton or Estevan, if you have to have major surgery, that typically happens in Regina.
The system can be used to remove cancerous tumors in organs, as well as urology, kidney, and bladder procedures. It can also be used for hysterectomies and hernias. More specialized procedures will be added as more surgeons are trained.
If you're comparing laparoscopic surgery to robotic surgery, the scale of benefits is less, especially with the smaller procedures. With the bigger procedures, there's a lot of evidence for decreased complication rates, less pain, lower readmission rates.
The Pasqua Hospital is aiming to conduct 300 annual surgeries with the Da Vinci device once it's fully operational. Damien Smith, CTV News, Regina.
3 years ago, the city of Regina began moving toward the use of new water meters, but one group of residents say they've brought about several issues. The residents say the problems with the meters include incorrect readings, in some cases leading to higher bills. The new meters are meant to be customer-friendly, giving detailed water use in homes down to the hour, but the group hopes options can be made for those not wanting to use the new meters.
Allow us an opt-out. Allow the people that have been coerced and bullied into getting the smart meter, allow them to go back to an analog. The analog can and will work simultaneously with the smart meters. We are not saying that everybody has to turn it off. We're asking for those that have genuine concerns, either address the concerns and put them to bed, or allow us an opt-out without punitive fines.
The city has previously said the new water meters are necessary due to the old ones aging out, and that they provide reliable and precise measurements for all water utility customers. The city of Yorkton is looking at adjusting its water rates. According to the city, the move will help support daily operations, capital investments, and restore reserves through 2027. The current proposal applies a 4% increase to water consumption and sewer discharge rates, and a $5 per month base rate increase across residential and commercial classes. According to the information sheet provided by the city, that means a monthly increase of about $6.95 per a typical household.
One of our committees that looks at all the environmental stuff, there was 6 different proposals brought to them, and it went all the way up to like a 30% increase would get us to where we need to go quicker. And so as they went through all the different ones, this one was chosen as kind of the most equitable and the most palatable for people to be able to accept now. The city will vote on the proposed rates November 17th.
Saskatchewan's government is creating a memorial emblem to honor public safety personnel who die in the line of duty. The Saskatchewan memorial emblem will be made up of a medallion, a scroll, and a miniature pin to be worn by either a family member or another designated recipient. A design for the emblem will be revealed at a later date along with criteria. The government says the award will complement a planned memorial on the legislative grounds.
And this is something that we can now pass on to the family. It will be tangible. It will be a point of remembrance across Canada.
The NDP says they'll support the government initiative. It was a special night for 8 recipients as Premier Scott Moe honored them with the 2025 Premier's Awards for Excellence in Public Service. This year's winners included 2 emerging leaders, 2 individual honorees, and 4 team award recipients from across the public service. The annual ceremony recognizes government employees who have made outstanding contributions to the people of Saskatchewan while exemplifying the province's core values. Recipients receive a certificate, a lapel pin featuring the Saskatchewan coat of arms, and a pewter trophy, all presented by the Premier.
Recipients join.
Greetings, everyone. The Hunting Council on Littlebone First Nation is an initiative started to help feed the nation. Now the council has expanded, sharing their skills and traditions with the next generation, even donating some of their supply in the city of Yorkton. CTV's Frigita DeClute tells us more.
After a successful community hunt, Littlebone First Nation is welcoming band members for some mouth-watering homemade delicacies.
We have processed moose sausage, we have processed elk patties, and then elk roast, elk steaks, elk stew chunks, elk ground burger.
He says they follow ethical practices during the hunt. For example, they only harvest 1 moose.
This year we took a few groups of young men out, and a lot of them were able to harvest their first animals, but a part of our tradition is their first animal is meant to be given away and shared.
Upholding the tradition fed the First Nation just outside of Yorkton.
We hunted, gathered, things like that, and for them to offer wild meat after so many years of us living off reserve, it's a blessing for my family so that they have a taste of their culture and identity and living off Mother Earth.
Other than the 3,500 pounds of game meat, the Hunting Council is also distributing bread, gravy, corn, and potatoes. Among the helpers is the mayor of Yorkton.
It's been quite rare that there's any involvement with the city and with the First Nation here. So when Cameron and I were able to link up, I just thought this was a wonderful opportunity for me to come out and show support from Yorkton to the First Nation here.
Through Yorkton schools, the Littlebone Hunting Council also teaches students how to process game, so the tradition can continue on for generations to come. Frugina DeClute, CTV News, Littlebone First Nation.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
Still ahead, everything you need to know on this year's federal budget. And an Alberta community rallies to support a young woman facing a life-changing injury. Prime Minister Mark Carney's first ever federal budget is out with focus points on economic growth while projecting a much bigger deficit than forecasts suggested a year ago. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver breaks down some of the budget's highlights.
Couldn't be prouder of my finance.
We're ready. Nearly 7 months after getting elected, the Carney government has dropped its first budget, a 406-page book it promises will build Canada strong. Over the next 5 years, Ottawa intends to spend $141 billion in new measures that they project will bring in $51.2 billion in savings. Together, those measures will take Canada's deficit to $78.3 billion this year, dropping to $56.6 billion by 2029-2030.
To weather the storm of uncertainty, we will not lower our sails, Mr. Speaker. Quite the opposite. We will raise them to catch the winds of economic change.
One of the biggest expenditures, defense, with $81.8 billion in spending over 5 years. There's $20.4 billion for the military's recruitment and retention problems, $10.9 billion for upgrades, and $17.9 billion to expand new military capabilities, including procuring new armored vehicles.
It's a real big injection of money, but really interestingly, they don't provide any annual investment or expenditure total. There's no articulation of where year by year that would take us as a share of GDP.
There's also $51 billion over 10 years for a new Build Community Strong Fund to help fund new infrastructure projects, $1.7 billion for an international talent attraction strategy, and $13 billion over 5 years starting in 2025-2026 for Build Canada Homes. That includes $2.8 billion for Indigenous housing. One way Ottawa is bringing down the deficit through changes to the public service. Ottawa wants to shed 28,000 public sector jobs within the next 3 years through cuts, attrition, and a move to incentivize voluntary leave and early retirement. How much that alone will save and where the cuts are coming from is unclear. Ottawa is also hoping to save $60 billion over 5 years through modernization and government efficiencies.
To balance the budget this year, we'd have to eliminate vital social programs and all the capital investments needed for Canada's future. We chose a different path.
But aside from a promise to review bank fees and to automatically file taxes for lower-income Canadians, experts say there's little that will help with affordability.
I think if you're the average Canadian, you're looking at this budget, you're going to say, well, it doesn't change my life very much. You know, I'm concerned about affordability, I'm concerned about housing costs, and lots of concerns. It doesn't really address any of those things specifically.
Instead, many economists say the budget's aim is to create a better environment for business through measures like a so-called productivity super deduction.
This is a budget that focuses on capital investment. Because of the context that we are in right now, the economy is quite weak and is under attack because of the tariff issues, and we have a significant uncertainty in the Canadian economy, so businesses are not investing.
For the first time, the budget has been separated into capital investment and operational spending. By 2028-2029, this document anticipates that the operational budget will have a surplus of $1.7 billion. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
A man has died at the protest camp set up outside the BC Ostrich farm, fighting a cull of its birds despite life-saving intervention by first responders. RCMP say they were called to investigate a sudden death around 7 a.m. local time after members of the police liaison team found an unresponsive man on the ground at the Universal Ostrich farm. Police on site initiated CPR. The man has been identified, but police are still working to notify his next of kin before releasing his name. Police say there's nothing to suggest that the man's death was suspicious. Fundraising efforts are underway in Alberta for a St. Albert woman who needed a double amputation after getting hit by a vehicle while at work. The 23-year-old is a large part of the local fitness community. As CTV's Nirman Issa reports, they're raising money for her long road to recovery.
Landon Crowder expects to sell a lot of shakes over the next month. His supplement store is donating every dollar from every shake sold to help a friend.
She's in the store almost every single day grabbing a shake on her lunch break. I know how much she, loves the shakes.
Money raised is going towards Raylan Jansen's recovery efforts. The 23-year-old was training for her first bodybuilding competition. Instead, she's in hospital dealing with life-altering injuries. Last Wednesday in St. Albert, Jansen was working as a landscaper on the side of the road when she was struck by an SUV and pinned between her truck. Her family says she had to have both of her legs amputated above the knees. Her road to recovery will be a long one.
We were just very grateful when we heard she was going to make it. And once we heard that, it was like, okay, well, what can we do to help?
Jansen is a regular at the Den Fitness in West Edmonton. Well wishes are being left on cards and a hoodie on top of fundraising efforts. Braden Miller says despite the traumatic injuries, she is in good spirits.
If Ray's smiling and Ray's replying to messages and all this kind of stuff, how can we be sad? At the end of the day, it's like, if anything, it fires me up and motivates us, to, again, keep talking about this and keep doing what we can for her.
RCMP say charges are pending against a St. Albert man. It's looking for witnesses and dashcam video leading up to the crash.
It's a lot more rare that we see these in residential areas, and it's frightening because we all, here's somebody who's working, doing yard cleanup. We're working for a company, and now tragically their life has changed significantly.
A GoFundMe has raised more than $100,000 in 4 days. Nisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Former U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney has died at the age of 84. Cheney served as Vice President under George W. Bush, Defense Secretary under his father, George H.W. Bush, and as White House Chief of Staff for President Gerald Ford. A leading advocate for the invasion of Iraq, Cheney was one of the most powerful and polarizing vice presidents in American history. In his later years, he became a vocal critic of President Donald Trump. A family spokesperson says Cheney died Monday night of complications from pneumonia, along with cardiac and vascular disease. After the break, your full forecast, plus inside an assembly line at a Canadian church already preparing for the holidays.
MasterChef Canada tonight at 8 right here on CTV. Then join us tomorrow morning when Your Morning talks to the latest eliminated home cook about their journey.
It looks like the weather peeps, weather universe has responded to Cole, who was hoping he could see the supermoon tonight, because it now looks like we're going to see mainly clear, if not completely clear. Well, I shouldn't say completely clear. Mostly clear conditions heading into the overnight, and we'll see that coming up in your future cast or the tracker. But in terms of temperatures, it has cooled down quite a bit. Just last hour, we were sitting at 6 degrees, warmed up to about 10 degrees late this afternoon, and now we're sitting at actually 0.9 is the actual temperature. So 1 degree right now, winds just close to about 20 kilometers an hour. So not too bad of a day. Didn't really see the winds picking up too high today throughout most of Saskatchewan. This is basically a little picture of over the last couple of hours of what we have seen. A little bit of the cloud cover in the north and just some of the clouds clipping through parts of the southeast and just along the southern border. For most of Saskatchewan, though, saw mostly clear conditions and a lot of sunshine. We're going to start to see a little bit of a shift. Heading into tomorrow, still seeing a lot of sunshine, but as we head into the evening, that's where we'll start to see things change. So again, this is tonight. We've seen a lot of that cloud cover clear out, and most of tomorrow looking not too bad until we start to see a system making its way through. So tomorrow morning, we will see a little bit more of that cloud cover rolling through, starting in the southwest and even parts just in the northern parts of the province as well. And then it's not until we get into the evening we see heavier cloud cover roll through, and then we have this band of precipitation coming in from Alberta. Mixed precipitation to start. We'll have some of this snow furthermore more into closer to the Saskatoon, Lloydminster area, and more so rain in southern Saskatchewan, and a slight chance we could see some freezing rain. As we continue into the overnight, that band will turn more into snow, making its way into northern Sask, and then we have a band of precipitation coming through in the form of rain for southern Saskatchewan, Swift, Current, Regina, Assiniboia, Estevan, Weyburn, and then eventually it turns to snow. So by Thursday, we're seeing that rain-snow mix. By Thursday evening, you can see what we will see in southern Saskatchewan, particularly southeast Saskatchewan, Regina, Estevan, Yorkton, Weyburn, all expecting to see snow into Thursday night, and that could also carry into throughout Friday. We could see some scattered flurries later on in the day on Friday as well. Friday morning, you can see Saskatoon expecting to see some snow first thing in the morning. Much more cloud cover sticking through Friday as well, and temperatures dropping below zero for many parts of the province as well. You'll see that in your 7-day forecast. In terms of tomorrow, though, getting back into that average range. 4 degrees for Lloydminster, 3 and mainly sunny for Prince Albert, -1 for La Loche, +2 for La Ronge. Taking a look at, Saskatoon, Yorkton, and North Battleford, all seeing mix of sun and cloud, a little bit more sunshine in Yorkton, all expecting 5 degrees as the daytime high. The southwest, a little warmer, 9 for Maple Creek and Swift Current, mostly cloudy conditions, 8 and mostly cloudy for Moose Jaw, and Estevan and Weyburn, 7 mostly cloudy, with Assiniboia mostly cloudy and 8 degrees. Taking a look here tonight, the cloud covers will clear tonight. We're going to see a little bit more of those clearer conditions tonight. -6 is the expected low, and then tomorrow warming up up to 7 degrees, mainly sunny conditions. And what can we expect for the next 7 days? Here you have it. 7 degrees, mainly sunny tomorrow. And as we saw on the map, expecting some showers Thursday. By Thursday night, that will change to snow. 5 degrees is the expected high. Friday, late afternoon, early to late afternoon, we could see some light flurries coming through. -1 is the expected low. So dropping below 0, below the average. And your weekend will continue to look like that. -5 on Saturday. I know we've got a very important football game to play, so layer up for that game. -5, a mix of sun and cloud, mainly sunny, -4. And by next week, we will see those temperatures come back into that average range. 6 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud. And by Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud and 4 degrees. I mean, it is still perfect football weather. A little cool, but as of right now, no snow for Saturday.
Well, the good thing about that kind of weather for a football game is the other team's got to play in it too. So, especially when they're from Vancouver, where it's a little more mild.
Yeah.
Could be an advantage. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
All right. Thanks, Sabine.
You bet.
Well, it's still early in November, but volunteers at a Kitchener church are already working hard to make sure dessert is ready in time for Christmas. The St. John's Pudding Factory has been operating for more than 75 years, and as CTV's Krista Simpson tells us, it's not showing any signs of slowing down.
A well-oiled assembly line, measuring the ingredients for Christmas pudding, mixing for 5 minutes straight, then filling the cans and tamping them down, covering the tops before they go into the steamer for 4 hours. The St. John's Pudding Factory has been doing this for decades.
This is the 76th year of the Pudding Factory. The Pudding Factory began in 1949.
This year's team made up of 40 or more volunteers. Many are from the Church of St. John the Evangelist, though anyone is welcome. Jackie Dunbar comes 2.5 hours from her home in Port Elgin to help.
We came to this church when I lived in Kitchener, and I loved the people. You see the same people year after year.
Absent, though, Mindy Hurley, who volunteered with the factory since its start. She passed away shortly after her 100th birthday.
We're thinking of her because she was such a lively, vivid presence in the church.
She did it forever, and she's sorely missed.
While making pudding is hard work, the volunteers say doing it together is what keeps them coming back.
The camaraderie is great. Of course, the making something that generates income both for the church and for outreach projects. That's important.
The Pudding Factory is the church's largest fundraiser, supporting its ministries as well as other charities. This year, volunteers will make about 900 pounds of pudding. That's less than the 3,500 pounds of pudding the factory would produce in its heyday 20 or 30 years ago. But the team is grateful that there's still strong demand.
Happily for us, there is still a market. People still love their puddings. We're still going, and it's a lot of fun.
It's just great, and I hope it will continue for the next 100 years.
Those who ordered puddings can pick them up at the church this weekend, with extras available for sale as well, and samples for those interested in tasting this tradition.
It has such a rich, multifaceted flavor that very few foods have these days.
Even those that don't like Christmas pudding, they love this Christmas pudding.
I steam my pudding, I douse it in brandy, I set it aflame, and then serve it with hard sauce. Delicious.
Krista Simpson, CTV News, Kitchener.
Still to come, the Saskatchewan Roughriders return to practice ahead of Saturday's West Final.
Wardrobe consideration in part by Colin O'Brien Men's Shop.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are back at practice, getting ready to face the BC Lions in the Western Final this weekend. But when the team takes the field on Saturday, they could be without one of their 1,000-yard receivers. Donovan Mace has more.
Harris steps inside.
Heading into a do-or-die West Final, Keyshawn Johnson's status remains unknown.
You know, being smart with it. You know, Keyshawn is going to be one of those guys.
Keyshawn Johnson, their leading receiver, who's been tremendous this season, has been sort of the fixture. So I see him grab his leg right away.
The Riders' leading receiver leaving Saskatchewan's Week 19 game against the Toronto Argonauts with a knee injury and has not played since.
He's been running around and stuff like that, so it's good. We got everybody trending in the right spot.
Johnson, one of 2 Rider pass catchers to reach 1,000 yards receiving this season, and while number 3's status is questionable, the other appears to be ready to return.
For another first down.
With Dante Myers back at practice, taking full first-team reps after missing the last 3 games of the year.
We're fortunate, you know, as just a byproduct of the work we put in. You know, we wanted to clinch the West. We clinched the West.
A replenishing of the receiving core with Kean Schaefer-Baker and Sam Emelis also back at full strength.
It's something that is very underrated is the guys that have done a tremendous job stepping up for Sam and Schaefer during the year, and when Dante was out and when Keyshawn's out, we have guys that come in and you know, there's nobody flinching, no batting eyes, and we just come out there and just execute.
We got some weapons back. You know, you guys, you've seen Schaefer, you've seen Sam. You guys got to know me and Keyshawn this year. You know, so it's gonna be real exciting. It's gonna be a nice show for Mosaic.
Now Johnson has not been ruled out for Saturday at this point, with coaches saying he continues to trend in the right direction to return this year. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
And, of course, the winner of that West Final on Saturday going to the Grey Cup, which will be in front of a sellout crowd at Winnipeg's Princess Auto Stadium, according to the CFL today. Organizers say tickets to nearly all of the Grey Cup festival events, including the CFL Awards and Gala Dinner, are also spoken for. The Grey Cup is set for November 16th. Over in the Eastern Final, it'll be Hamilton against Montreal. Still ahead, TeleMiracle announces its cast for the special 50th anniversary of the telethon next year.
Let's take a look at your rural forecast heading into tomorrow. We're going to start to see those temperatures cooling down a bit as we continue slowly reaching the weekend and those temperatures continuing to drop. But let's take a look at tomorrow. Still expecting a lot of sunshine for most of the day. We will start to see cloud cover rolling in, starting in the southwest, and you can actually see that even in areas like Kindersley and Outlook. 8 degrees, mostly cloudy. 4 in Lloydminster, mostly cloudy. 4 and a mix of sun and cloud for Spiritwood, Meadow Lake, and 3 degrees, mainly sunny for Melfort and Hudson Bay. If we get closer to the southern border, a lot more cloud cover, especially in the southwest. You can see Maple Creek 9 and cloudy, 7 and cloudy for East End Cypress, 8 and mostly cloudy for Assiniboia and Cornack, and then mainly sunny for Kenora, 4 degrees, 7 and mainly sunny for Lumsden and Pilot Butte. If we take a closer look at Hague, located about 50 kilometers north of Saskatoon, 4 degrees is the expected high. Tomorrow, mainly sunny. The 4 degrees is going to feel closer to about +1. And then as we head into the evening tomorrow, expect to have that snow arrive in the evening. Could see anywhere between 1 to 3 centimeters of snow when that system clears out.
Creative Options Regina is getting a donation from the city's India Night fundraiser. Cultural Connections raised $200,000 for CORE, which will support inclusive, recreational, creative, and literacy programs. This year's total marks the highest amount ever raised at the fundraiser, and since the first India Night in 2017, Cultural Connections has raised more than $1 million for community charities.
Opportunities to receive $200,000 is so incredible because it not only puts a boost in the momentum of our team, but also ensures sustainability of these programs for years to come.
The 2026 India Night fundraiser recipient will be Creative Kids Saskatchewan. Well, TeleMiracle 50 is just a few months away, and today we learned what's being planned for the annual fundraiser. Organizers announcing this morning an expanded show will come with the 50th TeleMiracle broadcast and start 2 hours earlier at 7 p.m. on Saturday, February 28th. The show will air live on CTV Saskatchewan from Prairieland Park in Saskatoon, and will welcome back longtime cast members Beverly Mahood, Brad Johnner, and Jeffrey Straker. There will also be a few new but familiar faces joining the cast as well.
We have Kate Burness, TSN broadcaster and Sports Center host. We have Sarah Lise MacArthur. People will know Sarah Lise, originally from Saskatchewan, from Outlander, Cafe Daughter, a lot of TV roles, so an actor and producer. We have JoJo Mason, originally from Saskatchewan, CCMA-nominated country artist, former junior hockey player, and from Saskatoon Morning House, we have Clayton Croker, who a lot of the Saskatoon folks will know, good man about town, longtime Kin supporter.
Since it began, TeleMiracle has raised more than $171 million for the Kinsman Foundation, which helps provide medical equipment for Saskatchewan residents. TeleMiracle 50 runs February 28th to March 1st. Time now for a look at your markets. The TSX and the Dow Jones both down today. TSX down about 500 points to 29,777. The Dow Jones down just above the 47,000 mark. As for the Canadian dollar, that was also trading down today at 70.94 cents U.S. Commodities now, gold was down about $69.32 an ounce to $3,932. West Texas Intermediate crude was down 49 cents a barrel to $60.56, while Western Canadian Select crude was approaching that $50 mark, up 82 cents to $49.51 per barrel. Gas prices per liter in Regina will most commonly be found at $128.9. The lowest you'll see is around $105.9.
Shopify reported big gains in revenue and profit for its third quarter. Revenue came in at $2.8 billion U.S., which is a 32% increase from the same period last year. Gross profit was up 24%. Still, shares were down close to 7% by the end of the trading day. Shopify, of course, is a massive e-commerce company run out of Ottawa. Pet Value also reported earnings, sending shares down more than 16%. Revenue for its latest quarter was about $290 million, but short of what analysts had expected. The company also scaled back its revenue goal for the year. Business is booming for rideshare company Uber. It brought in revenue of close to $8 billion U.S. in its latest quarter. That's on top of the $4.5 billion in revenue from deliveries. The company CEO says it is the strongest growth they've seen since the end of 2023. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
All right, coming up tonight on CTV E-Talk is Early tonight, followed by MasterChef Canada, then the Traders Canada, The Pit as well.
I love The Big Bang Theory.
The Pit is a great
I've heard that's really good.
Yes.
Okay.
It is. And if that's the first season, you're in for a ride. Okay. Nominations are also open for the Regina Citizen of the Year presented by CTV. The Citizen of the Year award is given each year to an individual who exemplifies excellence in community service and is making a difference here in Regina. To nominate someone, you can find guides here at CTV Regina or on our website. Deadline for nominations is Friday, December 5th. We'll announce this year's recipient on New Year's Eve, as is tradition. One of Saskatchewan's own bands is going on a Canadian tour with 3 stops here in their home province.
The Sheepdogs make their first Saskatchewan stop in Saskatoon April 18th, then Yorkton April 19th, and Casino Regina on April 25th. Tickets for all 3 shows go on sale this Friday. All right, well, I know you've been waiting to hear if you were the winner of this. But unfortunately, maybe next year, Cole. People magazine has named actor Jonathan Bailey the sexiest man alive for 2025.
Bailey's selection was announced last night on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Bailey called his selection the honor of a lifetime as well as completely absurd. The 37-year-old is best known for his roles on Netflix's Bridgerton as well as Prince Fiero in Wicked. Bailey will be on the cover of the edition of People magazine that's set to hit shelves on Friday. Maybe next year.
Next year. I'll start a petition.
It's my year.
Yeah. 2026.